How's it going, everybody? Thanks for joining us today on Old Gory Red Report. We'll be covering the match that just happened last night against Swope Park Rangers. We'll also be looking ahead to this Saturday's match away against Galaxy 2, and we'll be talking about that right after this. Thanks for joining us today on Old Gory Red Report. Of course, Casey J, as always, Mark Anthony. Old Gory Red Report, a supporters channel by the supporters for the supporters. And of course, we will talk today about last night's match against Swope Park Rangers, a very good win at home for the guys.
It was a very wet one.
We're
out there at the Papa Murphy's Park.
Yes, it was. And we'll look ahead to the Galaxy game this weekend. There are only 2 matches left in the regular season before Republic kicks off into the postseason, which it looks like we'll have a home playoff game this year, unlike last year. So that's a boost, I think.
It's going to be exciting. You know, getting playoff nights at Papa Murphy's Park, getting the energy back. I did hear the last game's going to be sold out almost, so I figure that playoff game will probably be sold out too. So it should be a great atmosphere.
Yeah, one home match left before playoffs, and that's going to be not this Saturday, but the following Saturday against Viva Las Vegas, who are not a playoff team. This is their inaugural season, a tough season for them.
Started out with so much promise,
but maybe they'll have a better season in future years to come. But we'll talk about last night. Republic get the win 3-1 against Swope Park Rangers. We get on the board in the 17th minute. Yeah. Bijev. A turnover was created by our high press. I think Swope Park got caught playing a little too deep in the back. They were a little loose with the ball. A turnover is caused.
Yeah.
I think Hall wins it. We get the ball to Iwasa. He dumps it to Bijev, who slots it home. What'd you think about that goal?
A great goal. I love the press. We've talked about it in past videos. For the first, 10, 15 minutes, we were playing that press really well. We did get the goal. Credit to Hall. He heads it down into Iwasa's path. Iwasa gets it to Bijev. Bijev slots it right past the keeper. Great goal, great team effort. Good to get on the board early, especially against a team that we talked about is a very strong team.
Yeah, and, it looked early on that we would actually be the side that would make a crucial mistake from the back like that. Yeah. Guys like Tainer and even other members of our back line, we were just having problems getting the ball from our backs up to our forwards and even through the midfield. A lot of turnovers were created by Swope. Yeah. But we create one on the other end. I think a little bit against the run of play, because I think Swope started off a little bit better than our guys did.
I completely agree. The whole first half, I think Swope was a better team.
Yeah. So then Swope, they create some chances. A familiar face, Tyler Blackwood, in the 31st minute, former Republic FC
Where were you for us, Tyler? Where were you for us?
He gets on the board in the 31st minute. He knocks a rebound home off of a save initially by Cohen from a tough angle. He saves it. Unfortunately, Blackwood is in the right place at the right time. He slots it home. It's 1-1. What were you thinking at that point?
Well, I was thinking, damn, I didn't get the right score because I predicted 2-0. By the way, Mark did get the right score at 3-1, so credit to him. Yeah, he was last. Last time he did complain a bit about that, so he did get the win. We'll mark that up on the chalkboard back here. But I think, we knew that they're a strong team, and Belmar is a player that if you give him that little bit of space in the 18-yard box, he's going to create a chance. And credit to Blackwood being in the right place at the right time. Cohen's not unstoppable or unbeatable. The ball bounces off him. He does his best to stop the shot, but he can't stop the second one, and it's in, and that's all.
Yeah, he gets the initial save, but of course, the rebound falls to Blackwood's foot. He slots it home. Blackwood almost had a second goal. He actually had one taken off the board. He slotted another opportunity home, but there was an offside. I think it was the right call from my vantage point. So fortunately, it's 1-1 at the break.
Yep.
At this point, rain starts to come in. It's getting wetter. The field's getting wetter.
People slipping everywhere.
Yeah. So the second half starts. Iwasa gets on the board in the 57th minute. A great cross by Espino. He lifts it over the defenders at the near post. Iwasa's making that second run behind Isley into the box about the penalty spot or so. He heads it home. Beautiful ball by Espino.
Absolutely. I don't have much praise for Espino, to be honest. I didn't think he was that great on the field, but great cross from him. Iwasa calling for it the whole time, has his hand up, wide open. Like you said, almost on the penalty spot, just wide of the penalty spot. Perfect header. Puts it down low into the corner. Keeper does get a hand on it, but not enough to stop it. 16 goals for Iwasa, tied for third in the league leading goal scorer.
He's as consistent as you would love from a forward. Yesterday he played in that kind of that secondary forward role, maybe that attacking midfielder position. And when he plays that role, he's afforded the ability to kind of pick and choose where he's making these runs. So he was able at that point to make that second run behind Isley, where he got free from the defender, slots it home with his head, 2-1. Crowd's into it at this point. It's still raining a little bit, but it did let up. You're right. It actually stopped raining in the second half.
It did. Like we came back from half and we were like soaked going into half, and then it kind of lightened up, and then they get that goal, and it was just a much more beautiful day.
Matty Osic gets subbed in for Isley in the second half. He puts his mark on the game as he scores a goal, 76th minute, on a really nice ball from Horde. He slotted it between a couple defenders. He saw Matty Osic get free and make that run in behind. Matty Osic taps it home. Maybe he hasn't scored as much as we would have wanted him to at this point of the season, but it was a really nice play for him to get free and score.
Yeah, and he's a play creator, so if he's not having, double-digit scoring, as long as he's making those assists and making those runs and creating chances, that's what you want a guy like him to do. But it is nice to see him get on the board. And this is 2 in 2 games, or 2 in the last few games at least. So he's getting that confidence, and that's good going into the playoffs, having a player that's starting to get in that confidence.
He's a guy that I think if our guys are thinking about taking home the USL Championship, I think he's going to be a player that will need to step up.
Yeah.
Because it can't just be a Wasa and Bijev. Like, there's got to be... It could be Isley, it could be Alamon, or Matty Osic, but really one of those three at least has to score goals and create plays in the postseason for us to go far, in my opinion.
Yeah, and we've talked about it. When Bijev isn't in the team, we just lose that creativity. He brings a lot when he's playing out on that wing. He's able to hold the ball up for us, and he creates chances for other players, and now scores for himself recently. So when he goes out, we need a player like Alaman, Matty Osic. They need to come on, and they need to take that spot and be that creative spark.
Absolutely. So that was all the scoring for the game. Cohen had that crucial save in the second half. Was it Belmar that got free behind the defense where he made the one-on-one save? I don't know if it was Belmar or Barry. It was on the other side of the pitch. But
I don't recall.
Regardless, it looked like it was a for sure goal. Cohen goes down to his left. He makes a save. He pounces on the rebound to not allow another opportunity. I thought that was probably the most crucial moment because at that point, I mean, there's a game if that goal goes in. There's a game.
Oh,
and
but Swope believes they're going to win this. They'll at least get something out of it. So.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's all for the scoring. Cohen, of course, had a stellar game in the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for Cohen, what tells the most is the stats would say Swope was the better team. The big difference was Cohen was on the field, and he saved 2 or 3 good goals that would have been goals if he wasn't there. And that's what gets us the 3-1 win. And
you mentioned it. The stats show Swope had 20 attempts and Republic 16, and they had possession 56%. I think that Swope possessed the ball, but they were pretty deep. They were kind of knocking it around. They're very confident on the ball. I will give them that. Like, you don't see too many USL teams use their keeper and their defenders that close to goal, knocking it around defenders, but it did cost them. They did allow that early goal because of it.
Well, and even the second header for Iwasa's header, I think, actually came off of a turnover as well from being up higher in their play. So.
Yeah, there was a couple times where I was like, man, they're really confident playing out the back. It hurt them, but we also had our problems building from the back. I thought that especially early on in the first half, we weren't playing direct enough. I know you want to keep possession, but at some point, your center back can't be committing turnovers trying to get the ball through the midfield.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. Like, sometimes it's just not the right opponent or not your day, and you just got to play a little ugly sometimes. Maybe knock the ball long, get a knockdown, then possess the ball in their half of the field.
Try to get to BJ, try to get it to Iwasa.
Yeah, so in the second half, I thought the team did better at limiting those turnovers and not letting Swope get the ball in dangerous positions.
Yeah, definitely. They played a little bit wider. In the first half, they were kind of clunched her together a little bit more, trying to play that multiple-man press. In the second half, they seemed to spread out. The first half, we did see Swope Park, especially Barry out on the left, keep getting that like right through our midfield with one ball, and he's away.
Yeah.
Clemente was over there all day trying to stop him. I think he did a pretty good job of it, but he did have a few good chances. So that worried me. We did spread out in the second half, a little bit better on the defense, made me feel a little more confident. The second goal made me feel a lot more confident. The third one, the most confident.
So who would you say is your man of the match for this game?
This is a tough one, but I'm going to go with Iwasa again. I know it's the easy pick, and I know it's the one, but
so boring.
An assist, a goal, he was creating chances. Even when we weren't playing well, I think he was still the player that was trying the most out there, really showing hard again, trying to get that press on. He runs and runs and runs. I can't say enough about him, but there's plenty of guys you could also give this to.
Yeah, there's a few guys that definitely had standout games. I think for me, my man of the match is probably Elliot Horde.
I would agree with you. Yeah, good again.
Again, I think that's 2 in a row. The guy is just playing so consistent right now, and he's giving us an attacking presence. In addition to, he had another tough matchup last night. You play those 2 wingers for Swope. That's how they score goals. They're dangerous on the outside. I thought Horde managed his side very well. He has an assist. Even on the Espino goal, or a Espino assist, I believe he's the one that slid it through to him on the through ball to get him in a good position. Elliot Horde, hats off to him. He's been one of our better performers in the second half of the season, big time.
I agree. In these last 5 or 6 games, 5 games or whatever, he's been phenomenal. Getting some goals, getting some assists, and doing his defensive work too. So
so with the win, we now move into 3rd place. It looks like that'll be as high as the Republic will finish. There's 2 games left. Some teams in the league have 1 game left. But Swope is a possible playoff opponent. Portland is a possible playoff opponent. St. Louis FC and San Antonio has an outside chance of getting in and possibly being our opponent. We will play the 6th seed more than likely. So who do you think is our best matchup? We'll eliminate San Antonio because I don't think they're a possibility really. Portland, Swope, and St. Louis. Who would you rather face of those 3 and who would you rather not face?
I think I would go against St. Louis out of those 3.
You'd rather face St. Louis?
I'd rather face St. Louis.
Okay.
I probably want to avoid Swope. I think that on Wednesday, we were lucky not to concede more with the chances they had, and I'd hate our defense to come up against that again. I think we can handle Portland.
I agree, because I think Swope would be the toughest matchup. Even though we won 3-1, they made us uncomfortable for a lot of that first half, at least. Even when
we were in the lead, they did.
Yeah, so I think Portland, even though it was only a 1-0 result, I think we controlled the game more. We could have scored more goals. I think that game could have been 3-4-0, but it wasn't.
We had more chances in that game too.
St. Louis is interesting to me. I'm not really sure how I feel about them. We'll see how it plays out, but it looks like St. Louis might actually be the team that we're most likely playing. We'll see in about a week. We'll know. We'll have a better understanding. So we'll move on to Galaxy 2 this Saturday. Remember, 2 games left. 1 more away game. That's this Saturday. Galaxy 2. Last 5, they're 2-2-1. They handed us that huge 4-1 defeat at home. That was the worst loss of the season for the guys.
Back in August, yeah.
They really just got us. That was a bad game for us, a good game for them. But they are a team that can score goals.
I was very upset at this game. Yeah, no, and they're a team that unfortunately just lost a player. We talked about it beforehand. We're not sure if Alvarez got moved up or not, but he's not going to be there. But they do have players like Zubek and Lopez that have 12 and 10 goals respectively. They're still a team that can, go up there and get goals. And they play a 3-5-2 a lot of time. Sometimes the coach does switch back to a 4-4-2, but in that 3-5-2, they are looking to attack and they are looking to put the pressure on. And I think with the way our back line has been, the coach is going to say, go at them.
Yeah, they definitely like to play 2 striker formations, like you said.
Definitely.
Sometimes 3 in the back, 4 in the back, but they like to have 2 strikers.
Definitely.
If Alvarez is still playing with them, that's going to be someone we have to take into account. He has 12 goals in only 16 appearances. That's
and coming out of the midfield as a midfield, player, that's a nice talent.
That's a very high clip. Lopez, like you said, and Zubak, 12 goals and 11 respectively. They can score goals. They have scored 58 goals. They've given up 60, which is like insane.
Yeah.
Both numbers are pretty insane if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like they score as well as anybody in the league, but they give up goals as well as anybody. So we talked about the players to watch. Who do you what do you think the scoreline might be? I mean, we talked about the tactics a little bit. They gave us so many problems the first time. Do you think that we go down there and the guys get a good result knowing that, hey, maybe there's some revenge factor there?
Yeah, I think we keep a few things in mind. They are in 12th place. They have no chance of
They are eliminated from the playoffs.
Of a playoff spot. So they're not playing for anything at this point except for own personal pride. They did come up and demolish us 4-1, so they're not going to want us to come down there and demolish us, but we're going to want that revenge. I think we're coming in on a little bit better form. Just like we've talked about before, other teams, if this thing has been a little inconsistent coming in, wins to teams they probably should have lost to, lost to teams they probably should have won. So the inconsistency always kind of gives you the question. If our front line can keep attacking, we can keep getting goals spread out like we did, I think we can go down there and get the result.
Gotcha. Do you think... I know they're eliminated from the playoffs, but there is a pride factor there, and these guys are playing for future spots on the first team. So I don't know if that'll be a thing. Like maybe if it was a standalone USL side and they were out of the playoffs, maybe they're just like already thinking about off season, you know. But do you have a scoreline that you think?
I think 2-1. I think we're going to win 2-1.
2-1. I like that. I think a win would actually clinch us for third place. Which would be nice. I'm going to go ahead and say we draw 1-1 just because it's our third game in a week. And I think that the game against Las Vegas will be the one where we really win and take that momentum in the playoffs. But I think a draw, a low-scoring game. So 1-1 is what I'll go with. But we'd love to hear your thoughts, your man of the match from last night, of course. What do you see going on this weekend? Do you see us getting a win? Do you see any particular players standing out? Were you there last night in the rain?
Yeah.
I was.
Put it all in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already, there's a subscribe button down here. It'll also show up in the middle of the screen right about now. There's going to be a couple of videos here to check out. There's a playlist here, a video there. So look at that. Until next time, guys.
Until next time.